Yeah, so today we are going to start with information gathering. As you can see here, the process of collecting information about a target before exploitation. That is, we gather information about our targets. Let's take for example, let's assume we want to attack cyberface technology. So first thing that we need to do is to gather information about cyberface technology. Or let's assume that you want to gather information about me. My name is Matthew. So first thing to do is to gather information about me, like my name, my place of work, and any other important information for me to be able to go about the attack. So that's what we are going to do today, to gather more information about our targets using different OSINT tools. So the first tool that we are going to look at is WHOIS LOOKUP, this particular tools. So this tool is very important, very important. And what we use this particular tools for is to gather to know the domain ownership. What we use this particular tools for is to check the domain ownership, to register the registrar, the DNS, to identify attack vector, expired dates, domain names, registrant info, then DNS server. So let's go straight to it now to carry out and check how to use this particular tool. I said we are the first tool to check to use for our survey is WHOIS LOOKUP. So here we put our, it's either we use IP of the organization we are attacking or the domain of that person. So here now we use cyberface as a case study. These are the things that we need to consider here. Based on our document here, based on this, so what we want to look at is domain ownership, the registrar, DNS. Then we want to know maybe we can use what we can use to attack and the important information, the expiring dates of that domain. That's what we want to check using that WHOIS LOOKUP. So now, first thing that we need to look at here is this particular registrar here, this particular one. So we know that this domain is registered under GoDaddy here. As you can see, it's under GoDaddy here. Then the next thing that we need to check is the expiring dates. The domain was created maybe 252 days ago. So it's going to expire on this particular date. It's going to expire on this particular date. Then last updated was 2024, as you can see here. So these are very important to understand. Let's, for example, someone send a phishing attack to you. So it's phishing mail to you, and you check, you confirm the, you just copy the link. So you come here to confirm the domain, and you see because all those attackers, all those scammers, what they normally do is that they create an urgent domain, the domain that a new domain that will just take like maybe a month to expire. They will use that one to create that domain just to scam people. So what you just need to confirm is to confirm the day, how old the domain is, then the expiring date of that domain is very important, because this will determine how this will determine and make you to know that this person, this domain is from the original source or not. Then the next thing to check here is DNS name server here. It's very important as well. So now what we are going to do is that we're going to confirm this IP, maybe starting with the domain, the DNS name. DNS name is the cyberface technology. We do that, and this is the IP. So I'm going to open my terminal now, CMD. So this is my terminal. I want to ping this particular address. So what you just need to do is ping, then we put IP address, which is 185.199.108.153. Then you enter. How to check to know if this particular domain is active. Now let's check the cyberface technology itself. Just ping, then cyberface. You can see now the domain is active, as you can see. So why this one is very important is that we use these particular tools to check the registrar name, which is this particular one, and I will tell you why we use these tools when we get to the session here today. Then we check the expiring dates, which is this particular one, because this will determine, like I said earlier, this will make you to know where the attack is coming from, and if the domain is created for an urgent need, or maybe it's a domain name. So this will determine that. Then the DNS server, name server, also will determine the other domain's name that connected to your domain or sharing the same name with your domain. So that's how to use this particular tool. But I will show you and why all these tools are very important. So now let's move to the next tools before we go to the main thing here. So the other one here, as you can see now, why is beneficial? This is the reason why it's beneficial. As you should use that one, attackers, the ethical hackers, which is you and I, we identify the legit owners to track fraud. So when someone sends a fraud image to you, what you just need to do, you don't need to bother, just copy the image there, then go to WHOIS LOOKUP, confirm where the domain is registered and where it's coming from, determine the IP address. So those things, those information gathered will allow you to trace and know where the particular attack is coming from. What's black hats? I mean, all those bad guys. What they normally use this particular tools for is that they use these tools like public information to use for public information, phishing, impersonation. So when they use these particular tools now, when they discover that, they will see your IP address there, they will have your domain name there, they will know your company. So having those information, they can use those information to track you or to just dupe you, that they just disguise as if they are coming from so organization, whereas they are not from the organization. So that's what they normally use it. Then we also monitor expiring domain, which I have shown you to monitor maybe the domain is expire or maybe infrastructure is footprints or whatever. So that's what we use this for. Then the next tools here is Robtex DNS lookup. So this one, what we use these tools for is we cover the DNS records, the domain that are associated with the domain, then IP mapping. We use it for IP mapping. So now how to use this particular tool. So this is the domain. We click enter here. These are the information that attackers use. We ethical hackers use it positively, and those people use it negatively, as you can see here. So this NS, this domain, this particular shows that this domain is being operated by GoDaddy and is connected to Microsoft. The maze is connected to Microsoft. As you can see here, this is com.me.protection.outlook.com. It's from Microsoft. Also, this is the IP. The IP associated to that mail. These are the IP associated to that mail, to that domain name. Then other things that you can see here is that the website is hosted by GitHub. As you can see here, hosted by GitHub. So now I said that this can be used for DNS records, subdomains, IP mapping. So as you can see here now, so these are the IP. Let's assume that you attack any of this IP and it's not going. You can try others to check. You can try this. So it's just for us to map all the IP associated to this particular domain, which are these IPs here. There's all this IP. Then also what we need to take note here is that we need to take note of this particular IP here as well. We can ping this. This one is for that domain, which is cyberface technology. This is the main IP for that cyberface technology. This 185.199.109.153. So these are the things that you need to take after when you are using this particular, just for you to check the DNS lookup, then where the email, where the protection, the email is being used, gather all this information, just for you to know where to attack and information that you will use for the attack. How hackers use it, ethical hackers use these tools, and this how black hats, the bad guy, use it. So what they normally use for is that we access the DNS hygiene just to know if this DNS is fine or not. Because as you can see here now, you will notice that it's being protected by Microsoft. So let's assume that you check this particular domain and you don't see something like this, and you confirm the IP, and you already know that the date of that when we use this particular tool, so what is it called, DNS, WHOIS LOOKUP. When we use that one and you discover that the domain name is outdated, then there's possibility for you to attack the particular domain. Then this is how black hacker use it. The exploit is configurations, full image, then find forgotten unsecure access on particular websites. We do all this practically. So I just want to run you through this introductory part of it before we go to the main stuff. Then the next thing here is Netcraft. This Netcraft, what is mainly used to share the server, to share the OS, the operating system of that domain name, to share the secure socket layers, this particular one, secure socket layer, to share the tech stack associated use for that particular domain. So let me just copy this link to you so you can get it better. This is it. You just type the domain. It can be Google, it can be anything. So let's just say Google. Then you click on this. So this one will give you more information about what you are looking for. So like I said, what we use Netcraft for, we used to start to check for the server type, the OS, the SSL, then tech stack. Once you know all these things, because if all these things are not well in place, if they are not well configured, use it against the domain to attack the organization. That's why we need to check. We use this tool to check the server type. And that's how Black Hat use it. And on the Ajax sections, if this SSL, if it's not well configured, if it's maybe outdated, of course, it's very good for man in the middle attack. This particular one, if it's not well configured. So that's why we use this tool to check, to confirm. For ethical hackers, when we discover that the OS is outdated or maybe it's not well configured, on the particular OS, the technology behind this is outdated. So they need to know to access it or to review it. So that's why we use this particular Netcraft. Let's just check it. What we need to know here. As you can see here, we have the background. This one will give you more information about it. The size, as you can see, is Google. Then their IP address is this particular one. We also need to check the DNS, reverse DNS. If you need that, this is SSL or TLS that you need to know. You can check the full report. To check the full report, you need this particular, you click on this. This will give you the overview of everything that you need to understand. As you can see here. So this see. Domain violation, as you can see, company common names, google.com, organization, non-press states, as you can see, everything you need, you can find everything here. Then we now look at the signature algorithm, which is the expression they use. This is it. So this is what they use. Then serial number, everything that you need to know, that you need to get, you can find everything here. Then SSL certificate change, as you can see. So this is the certificate, this is what they use. These are the information they use for this particular site. So let's assume that you share this particular site and you discover that the SSL is outdated or is not well configured. Of course, I use that as a manage. You can use it for a managed domain attack. So that's how to use Netcraft. So the major thing now that I want to do now is how to use Maltego using our machine. So now I'm going to open my Kali machine because that's the main work today. I'm going to open my Kali machine and demonstrate how to use Maltego to search for anything, how to register, and how to use to search for anything you can think of, how to use this. This is relationship mapping. We can use it for many things. Anything you can think of, we can use Maltego for it. When we open the tools and start using it, we understand what I'm talking about. So now this is my Kali. You open your terminal. Of course, I don't know, maybe you guys have set up your Kali machine. I don't know if you have done that, but you just need to do that so we can all be, be in the same page. Please just make sure that it's up. So you open your terminal. I open my terminal. For my terminal, I just type Maltego. First thing to do is to register because this Maltego is, in fact, is #1 OSINT tool that you can use for anything you can think of, to search. It can be used many organizations. It's not even only IT that make use of it. Many organizations, FBI, police, investigation, they make use of this particular tool. Very, very good tools to search for anybody to know more about where the person is working, the basic information like the name, the domain, the email and the work email the person is using, and many other stuff. And you can use it for a personal person. For example, you want to search for any person on Facebook, on social media, you can use this particular tool to search for their accounts. Any social media footprints, you can use this particular tool to do that. So first thing to do is that since we are using free version, of course, we cannot use pay one because it's a little bit costly. Like it's about maybe $6,000 US dollar per year or whatever. So first thing to do is just use this particular ID. Click on this particular one. So you click on this one, Maltego ID. You click next. Then what you want to do is that we want to register because you cannot use it without being registered. So you click on this particular online activation default. Then you click next. You click accept here. Then you click next. So here now, you can either copy this link to access it on web, or you can go to browser directly. So I'm going to access this on this particular Kali machine. So I click on this link. This is the landing page. I've used this particular account before, so I'm going to use another Gmail so we can all see how to register. And so I'm going to click here, down here, create ID here at the bottom side here. You click on this just to open a fresh account with them. So here you just you give your details. My name is Matthew. I can just put Matthew here. Then provide password. Yeah, this one is accepted, but I don't want to save never. Then the verification code has been sent to your mailbox. Then you will check your Gmail and confirm the verification code. So I'm checking my phone now. So the code is 278979. Then I click verify. So now I can now sign in. Now automatically will be redirected to this Maltego. You can now close this browser or we minimize it, then we go back to, as you can see, once they activate there from that web, automatically it be activated here as well. Then you click next. So now we are almost there. Then you click next. You don't even need to do any, just click next. You accept this. You click next. You might leave that one. Don't need to send any reports. Here you select your default browser. Maybe you want to be using Chrome or any other browser. Of course, I just leave my default browser to be Firefox. Then I click next. This is your privacy mode. Depend on you. Maybe shitty but normal mode is fine for us. You click next. Then you finish. If here, open a backup graph and let's play around. It doesn't matter. We get to know those things. We are now in the environment. This is the working environment for us now. You click on acknowledge. Then I understand. That's how to open accounts with them. So now let's try to and see how to use and conduct your investigation and track any person or organization that you want to do. So now, first thing you need to know is, let me walk you through this tools here, the overview, the environment, so you will know how to use it. So first thing that you can see here is this graph. This is a working environment. Anything you want to do, you just click anything. Maybe you want to make research about it, Bitcoin cash address. You just need to drag this here and drop. Everything you want to do, you just click it down, click on it, hold this, then drag it to this graph environment. That's how to to drag, to move anything that you want to move, start working on it. We have here new graph. Let's assume you open your own and you did not see this graph. Maybe this graph is not here at all. So what you just need to do is that at this top right and left hand side here, you click plus. As you can see, we have second graph here. Maybe you want to open another one. This is another graph, third graph. That's how to open your own environment, working environments. And let me talk about this entity palette here, this particular section. So I want to explain this section so you can understand. Here we have overview. This is the overview of everything, all the tools we are using. And we have entities. Entities are the names you want to search for. Let's assume that you want to search for a person because you want to work with, maybe you want to search about me. You just put person here. Then you will see something like that. As you can see, you see person here. Then you just click and drag here. Then you change the person name. You just type the person name. My name is Matthew. Then you put the Matthew here. Then let's assume that you want to transform. Here is collection. Collection here is about the tools, everything, what you have in your collections. Then we have transforms. This transform is what we'll be going to use. That is what we use to run this particular graph. So that's how to use this particular. Then import and export. If you have a very large data that you want to import, that you want to search, then you import, then export what you have, the information you have already gathered. So that's how to use the particular one. Then here, let me talk about this entity section once again. Let's assume that we want to work with Google. We just type a domain here. Maybe you want to search for a domain. You just type domain, DNS name. That's domain. Then you just click on it and drag if it's domain that you want to work on. Then let's assume that you want to work on maybe anything. Let's, for example, you want to work about, maybe you want to search someone or you want to know information about someone's Facebook accounts. You just type Facebook. As you can see here, we have it. Then you drag. So that's how you use this particular tools. This particular session, we have a lot of things. Just think of anything. Just talk about anything. You will find it here. That's why this particular tool is a little bit unique and better than other OSINT tools. As you can see, you want to maybe Bitcoin transaction, maybe someone dupe you and you want to know more about the address that the person gave to you. Of course, you can use this particular one to do that. And let's assume that you want to do anything. You'll be able to use this tool to do that. So now, but for this particular training, we are going to limit ourselves because this is unpaid version. So we might be limited to what we can do and what we can use it for. I want to train you and make you understand this particular tools in case you get hired and you find yourself using this and the organization is using these particular tools. Of course, you will know how to use it and how to maneuver yourself and work around it. So now let's work on domain. I'm going to delete all these forms. So we work on the domain. This home environment. So how you want your graph to look, your mapping, how you want it to look, the layout, that's what you use this particular section for. When we get to that place, you will know how to use these ones. Then we have another overview where it's overview of everything of what you are using, you are doing on your graph here. So we have details view, we have property view, and other transformers. As we proceed with this, of course, we will notice everything here. And down here, you will see all your output script here at the bottom side here. DNS name, you use this particular one, but we are targeting a full domain. Then you click and hold and drag. Then you drag. You can actually enlarge it by using your mouse. Just zoom in, zoom out, as you can see, then zoom in. So that's how you will enlarge it. Then you put the domain of the targets, then you just say google.com. Then you right click on this google.com. You right click on this Maltego. Here we have run transforms. We have different transforms here that you can do. See, these are the things that you can do using this particular transform. As you can see, these are the things that you can run. You can convert this into properties, domain name system, lookup, email address from domain. If you want to check other email address associated to this Google, if you want to know their subdomains, you can use this particular one to know their subdomain. Let's just search for the domain name first. You click on this. Here, if you click on this particular one, of course, you will have a lot of things that you can do here. You have convert entities. As you can see, we have a lot of proxies that you can use this particular one to. But let's just go back to this interface alone, just to run this DNS name system. Then you click on this particular icon here. This one, you click on this, run all. You click on run all. As you can see here, this is the output transform. As you can see, it's going already. Yeah, I think it's up now. So we have a lot, as you can see. If you want to move, you just do this, then you drag. You can move everything. As you can see, you can move everything. All you just need to do is that click out, then hold your mouse down, then cover everything. Then by doing that, you'll be able to move. These are subdomain DNS that are connected to Google. These are the subdomain. Let's, for example, now somebody send a mail to you. Let's assume a phishing attack, or in your Facebook or anywhere or maybe in your mail. The person said that it's from Google. So what you just need to do is that copy that domain, then bring it here, confirm, or you can spool domain Google. This all domain that they have, subdomain that they have, cast.google.com, cloud.google.com. All these are their subdomain that they have. So let's assume that someone now sent a phishing mail attack that is from Google. Just look at all these subdomain. If you can't find that mail and that domain here, that means the person is trying to scam you. So that's how to use this to check. Then what we now do, let's just focus on one of these and delete the rest. Let's, for example, let's just focus on this particular one, web.google is common. Let's just focus on ns.google.com. Start working on this particular ns.google.com. Then we delete the rest. So how will you delete the rest? Bash delete. Just do something like this. So that's how you delete by bash. Just do something like this. Anywhere this graph cover be deleted. These are our targets. So this one we want to target. ns.google.com. This one we want to target now. So now, I said that we explain this particular layout. It depends how you want it to like. As you can see, let's assume we are here to delete. This will determine the layout, how you want it to appear in this particular environment. If you click on this, so it's just how you want it to appear. So we use that one. Then this view, we have fed this icon here. If you want to change the icon to something else, you click on this. As you can see, the icon already changed. You click on this, depend on what you want to use and how to use it. But I always confirm if this IP we are getting here is actually tally with what we ping. So we just right click on it again. You run your transformer again. You can convert entity properties. You can check domain names report. You can check find entity properties, find this. If you click on this plus sign, we have other stuff here as well. We have plus sign here. If you click on this one, sub menu that you can use, sub tools, depending on what you want to do. But what we want to do now is that we want to confirm the IP, this DNS. We want to use this to IP address. We want to confirm the IP associated to this. And we can also use it to websites, to query the ports, if we actually have open ports or not. So now, what you just need to do is that we click on this IP to confirm. Then you run this. This is the IP. So now we can correlate this IP. Maybe it's actually confirmed with what we ping here. This one is 10. So as you can see here, it's actually correlated. I don't know if you can see my background here, which is 10.216.239.32.110.10, yeah, which is actually respond to what we have here. So these are the things that we normally use Maltego for. And if you are searching about person, you want to know the person's accounts, you want to know everything, this will follow the same procedure, the same way we do this. Then let's assume that you want this who's info here. Of course, you click on this. So this is it now. We have more information. As you can see here as well, we have some output here, the overview of what we are doing here. As you can see here, we have the IP here. We have other things that you can check here. Then this is this particular domain. The ID here is this. This is the net block of this. Then let's assume that you want to search for it. You want to go further for any other thing, or maybe you want to any information you want to search. You can continue looking, digging, and until you find what you are looking for here. Then you can go back here and also check for other stuff. Maybe let's go for who's here. On this particular domain alone, we have subdomain. This email belongs to some of them, maybe an admin of them or any, I don't know. This is orange-contact@google.com. This is one of their Gmail they use. Then network at google.com. This is one of their domain. Then we have this number of, maybe I don't know, maybe some scammer use this particular hash to do people. They've just go and create a Gmail that look like this particular account. They now go and create a Gmail that look like this particular account. They might put, instead of network, they might put network one or something here. You understand? Just for them to disguise as if the Gmail is correct, is original domain, is coming from this particular person. Phishing mail, yes. So they will just create something like that. They now compose their mail that, hi, I'm from this particular person, or let's use this one, hi, I'm from Harry, from Google, this and that. Whereas what you need to confirm is that copy the domain here. You can come to this particular app, find and check if this particular actually associated to Google or not. And also confirm. We have a lot of tools that you can use to confirm, verify a domain, if domain is correct or not. We have some OSINT tool that you can use for that. So that's how to do your investigation, gather information about your targets, about any company, about any person, anybody that you want to make search on. You can see my PowerPoint here. Ethical hackers identify and fix vulnerabilities, while black one exploit weakness. So, like Mr. Anthony said, of course, you must know what bad hackers know. You must even better than them, because that's how you can go against what they are doing. So that's just about that. Thank you very much.